So in this video, we're going to take a few minutes to actually start jumping into the coordinate plane. And we should already be familiar with the coordinate plane. It's really just the intersection of the x-axis and the y-axis that allows us to plot information in a two-dimensional world. So when we're dealing with the coordinate plane, it's often because we want to graph an equation. And this fits nicely with what we've been talking about with proportional relationships. So what we're going to do is to start with an equation, in this case y equals 3x, and we're going to have a table of data. In this case, I'm going to provide you some x values, and we're simply going to take each of those values, substitute them in for x into the equation, and based on what the equation is telling us to do, in this case, multiply that value of x by 3, solve for y. And that's going to allow me to come up with several ordered pairs that I will then be able to plot and then be able to create or graph a straight line. So we'll start with the first one. If we substitute -2 in for x, that would be the equivalent to saying 3 times -2, and that's going to get us -6. If I substitute 0 in for x in the next example, I'm going to have to now do 3 times 0, and that's going to give me 0. And one more time, if I substitute 1 in for x, I'm going to do 3 times 1. And that I can see is quickly going to give me 3. So from there, as I mentioned, we can begin to create ordered pairs. And we know we have an x coordinate and a y coordinate, so there's no reason I can't take these two values in the table and create an ordered pair of -2, -6, create the next ordered pair, and with the value of 0 for x and 0 for y, create a second ordered pair. And then for a final piece of information, I can take the value of 1 for x and 3 for y. So we went from an equation to using some given values of x, substituting those values of x into the equation, solving for y, and now constructing some ordered pairs. From there, I should be able to plot my ordered pairs. So here, I'm going to plot the points -2, -6, 0, 0, and 1, 3. So don't forget, when you're plotting points, the -2 in this case is going to tell me to move left or right because it's moving along the x coordinate, the x-axis. So I know I'm going to have to move left. And the -6 tells me in what direction to move on the y-axis. I know I'm going to have to move down. 0, 0, there's not going to be any movement. That's actually just sitting on the origin. And then 1, 3, the 1 tells me from the origin to move to the right 1 space before I turn and move up 3 spaces. So we can quickly plot those points. So let's see, starting at the origin, -2. Whoops, let's get rid of that. -2, -6. That's one of my points. 0, 0 was another point. 0, 0 was another point. And then our last point, we'll just go back and double check, is 1, 3. And you notice I'm having some trouble with my points actually staying. So I want you to plot those points. And then the last thing you will do is to set up your ruler or your straight edge and graph your line. So again, I'm having trouble just with the nature of this technology. I'm going to quickly graph, and you'll use a straight edge for this, but you'll graph a straight line and it'll go through your points. So it's that simple. This should be familiar to you because you've done it in past years, but what I want you to do is now go back and repeat the process, substituting values, the given values in for x in this table, creating the ordered pairs, and then plotting the points and graphing the data. Now be careful in this example because we're going to be multiplying by negatives. So make sure you understand that you're going to be doing -2 times -3, so you should get something positive. -2 times -1, again, you should get something positive. -2 times +2, you should get something negative. So use what we've done on the left-hand side to assist you in doing what's left on the right-hand side, and we'll come back to class and explore with this further when we meet again.